Yeah, hello, Lina Kushch. You are not only first secretary of the National Union of Ukrainian Journalists, you are also a very important partner of Media Dialogue. And one of the aims of Media Dialogue is also, even in the future, in these dramatic times, to make peace in Europe. And today, the most awful things after the Second World War happens, Russian aggression and the Russian attack against whole Ukraine. What's the situation in Kiev now, and what are your first thinking and your reactions? What is going on with Ukrainian journalists reporting about this war in Kiev?
Yeah, I am in Kiev now, yes, and I can't hear any explosion from my home. However, we worked up today morning early because of the siren sounds, and it was about 1 or 1.5 hours. We have a meeting with our foreign partners, and we had a meeting with Ukrainian journalists. We had 24 regional journalists, and we pay special attention on the situation on the east. For East Donetsk, Luhansk region, Kharkiv or Chernihiv, we talked what are the needs of our colleagues and how they manage the situation. The journalists said that they share the information by online platforms because of they can print their newspaper, for example, or they can't deliver the newspaper because of stopping news deliveries, of stopping working post offices, and they said that many lines at the gasoline stations, and I know many lines at the gasoline station in Kiev too. Our public transport is free of charge today for all people, and you can use metro, for example, and or other public transport, but you can catch a taxi because of a lack of autos here. Yeah. In Kiev, as our journalists on the east, they are worried about the escalation, and they are worried because they can have a military technique, and they can hear explosion, and the evacuation from the countries close to the front line was started today, and however the big cities like Mariupol or Kharkiv, the citizens are still there in those cities. As to journalists, they need to skills, and they need help with medical treatments. For example, I have this tourniquet. I used it in 2014-2015 when I worked on Donbass, but now I keep it close to me all the time because we expected the situation can get worse. And I visited today, me and my neighbors visited today the underground in our building, and we saw how can we have a shelter underground. There are picture gallery in underground, but the gallery opened the door for all neighbors, and we can have a shelter there. Here is the list of phones of our neighbors, because we need quickly communication each other, and so we are thinking about quickly communication with journalists, with our regional organization, and with other journalists. So our colleagues on the East asked for special equipment. We should think about the situation when the journalists or the news offices need need to move to the other region to continue their work for their audience online, but not in the dangerous place, but in the safe place. So there are our news for this moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these are very the pictures we saw on German television are very dramatic pictures showing destroyed buildings in Kharkiv. I talked to Yuri, our partner at Lviv. He heard the explosions in the surrounding of Lviv, so it's a really large scale of attack to Ukraine, and a dramatic situation, I think, for all of us in Europe. And what do you expect from the West now, and what you expect as a development of the next years from journalist side? Because I also heard a lot of Russian propaganda, RT Russia Today reports horrible things. I saw it just some minutes ago. So what do you do against this propaganda war too in Ukraine from the sides of the journalists?
The journalist said us that they are working for informing people about the real situation and for helping people to make their decision. And as the Russia propaganda, we can see the or any cyber attacks. Again, a lot of Ukrainian media sources, for example, Fifth Channel or the main news agency Ukrinform was attacked. Yes, so we would like to share our information through different platforms, for example, not only through the official site, but through Facebook or any channels, so our members can share it later. And we call to verified information. We call to trust to official sources only, and check any information from other sources. And journalists are thinking about maybe if it will be hard to print the media. We are thinking about printing, for example, a little page of information to share in the countries or in cities. We are thinking about developing any messenger channels for informing our members and other journalists. And we are thinking of emergency emergency foundation for Ukrainian journalists for covering different needs, what we expect or what we don't expect. Emergency fund could be great for helping Ukrainian journalists, and we call our foreign partners. We I really appreciate for their support, because we had many words of support and many propositions from our foreign partners, and we appreciate to Media Dialogue project for our colleagues and for our partners. We call to made a statement in support of Ukraine. We call to share the real information about the war in Ukraine, not Russia propaganda, fake news, but really information. It can help us to have pressure on the foreign politics for making decisions for any sanction or any other way to stop Russia invasion in Ukraine.
So let's, I think for the day, support for Ukraine is necessary, to inform the audience, and who Europe is necessary. So I think we are staying in touch, and we are also trying from the side of Public Access Channel in Germany to support free information flow from Ukraine. And so I cross my fingers for all journalists working in Ukraine at the moment under worse and very dangerous conditions. And let's hope that Ukraine and Europe will resist this Putin aggression. So Lina, thank you very much for this time. We are in touch, and I think it's not the last Media Dialogue TV extra from the war side. All the best to Kiev, crossing the fingers for Ukrainian people, for Ukrainian nation. So thank you very much for this call this morning, and all the best for you personally. Naturally.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you.